Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd do another update, and it's been about a week and a half or so. And thought I'd let you all know what's going on here in the hangar and the progress I made on the truck. And so everything's coming together. As you can see, I've got the radiator and the core support together and on, with all the hoses have been hooked up. All of the steering linkage that I was having some problems with, this right in here, the shift linkage and the steering linkage, plus I had some issues with the throttle linkage that go to the pedal and up to the carburetor, but got all that solved, and all the remaining wiring underneath here, the what is it, the stoplight switch right there, got all wired in. The dimmer switch is all wired in properly. Plus, I ended up on this area over here, if you recall from my last video, I had a short wire coming out to this position here. Just basically, I just reversed them, reversed the fuse box and the horn relay, and everything works just fine. But ran into a few snags this week. I had to disassemble a lot of the dash. I'll show you real quick here. Hang on, this crazy light is really bright. But so I'll do it like this. So I ended up having to take the speedometer back out, that right there, and then I had to take the glove box out in order to mount up all of those components that are underneath in here. There is the cowl vent mechanism and then the wiper mechanism and so forth. So I had to take all that stuff back out, or take out the dash part so I could get all that in. And as you can see here, there's the knob for the wipers, and got all the wiper mechanism and the bezels all put in place. But so I also managed to get the insulation in the firewall all mounted up. I ended up having to use a different type of system than what came with the from the manufacturer, but it worked out better. And so this week and right now I'm working on the headliner. As you can see, I've got it all insulated, and I've got the rear panel of the headliner in, plus the rear, I guess the trim piece that holds it all in place. Had a little bit of a problem with that, in that there are, hang on, let me get this ready here. There are screws right here, all the way along. There's like 10 or 11 of them. Well, they only put in 10 little slots. There's little slots in the back of this cardboard stuff, and then everything just kind of slides that way. So they only made 10 slots. They didn't punch a hole in that one. And then on this side over here, all of the slots were about 1/4 inch off, so I had to kind of improvise and make it work. But it looks pretty good. So anyway, we're moving along. Got all the exhaust system put in, as you can see here, and I got it mounted properly. The previous owner or owners or whoever, originally they had this hanger was screwed into the shackle of the rear leaf spring, and so I'm assuming that every time they hit a bump the whole thing would shake or rattle or whatever, but that was kind of crazy. But so it's coming along nicely, and it should be maybe next week or the following week I'll be able to start the engine up and make a real quick test on it. But then I ran into a snag a little bit here. This is the front piece of the headliner, and although it looks really nice, it's really thin cardboard or paperboard, and so you have to be real careful putting it in. But what I was getting ready to put it in, and these holes right here, you can see there's 4 holes, and pre-punched. Those are for the sun visor brackets that mounts up. And so if you come across to this side, there is none. And this will be the passenger side, since it'll be flipped over. And for life of me, I don't know why they're not pre-punched, but the only thing I can think of is possibly the back in '55, maybe the passenger side sun visor was an option, and so this is factory. But anyway, so little snags here and there, we just got to overcome them. And so next week I should be back in the air, resuming my flight lessons with this gorgeous looking plane. It's a 1975 182. our two CFIs went up in it yesterday, and they gave it two rousing endorsements, and they just absolutely love the plane. And so I'm really looking forward to getting back up in the air and resuming my flight training in this really nice airplane. I'll do a real quick shot of the cockpit and the panel so you can see. If you'll notice on the left side, it's there is no fascia on that compared to this one. See the kind of the yellow thing there. I had to take that off because the CFI, which usually sits in this seat, the right seat, couldn't see the airspeed indicator, which is in the far left corner. And so by removing that fascia plate, it allowed the CFI to see that front, to see the airspeed indicator. So I'm going to remove this one also, because the panel, as you can see as I'm moving it back and forth, these are your temperature gauges, ammeter, and so forth like that. So I'm going to take that one off to give it a little bit better visibility. And I actually think it looks a little bit better just in the black like that. So, but let me walk around outside here real quick. So anyway, hopefully we'll have some nice weather next week, and I can get back up in the air and start flying again. So I'm out for now. Everybody have a great weekend.